week on the Reverend Dr. Danielle Winningham's platform, and I am super excited. I am Monique Spalding, CEO of SPMC International LLC and the founder of Government Contracting University, GCU, and we are coming to you full force on this week about government contracts. Money in government contracts is our topic today. I have some wonderful guests, a lot of information. So just get a notepad, but most importantly, get registered. It's totally free. Go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com to get registered because you'll receive a free download of 20 grants, a list of 20 grants. Can you believe that? That you can apply for your business. You know, Coach is always giving out the best gifts. And so go to that link, www.blackandpinkmoney.com to get registered. You'll receive your list download of the 20 grants to apply for your business. But more importantly, because it's government contracting week, you'll receive additional daily emails to invite you to all the festivities and the events. I'm telling you, we just shut down a room on Clubhouse. I was over there jamming. We can't jam on Facebook and all these other YouTube platforms like we can on Clubhouse. So you need to get registered because I'm telling you, I'm having a party this week with government contracting weeks. Like to introduce some wonderful women, some clients of mine in Government Contracting University. Super excited to have them with me today on the platform. First and foremost is Dawn McCarty, the CEO of Securing Everything, and then also Ms. Rose Fauntleroy, the CEO of the Virtual Sales Genie Consulting Agency, which is a division of Fauntleroy Enterprises, LLC. So we have some lady bosses in the house. Go ahead, Dawn. I just want to say, as Dawn speaks, Dawn is actually a graduate of my Fed Talk course, my 10-week government contracting course. And so Dawn is a recent graduate of Fed Talk, and you're going to get so much information about that in the nightly webinars. But Dawn, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the people how excited you are about government contracts and being a graduate of the Fed Talk course.
Yeah, well, before this all started, I was a little like, oh, what does that mean, government contracts? And the more I was going through the boot camp, and that really got me excited about, my gosh, I know I can do this. I am like right in the right position in the right industry. And what's even more exciting is that there's so many industries you don't even expect. So being a graduate of Fed Talk has really just set me up so that I can actually start bidding on some of these contracts. And that in itself is just thinking after 10 weeks that I'm ready to start bidding. So it has been a great, wonderful experience. I'm glad I did it. It's definitely worth the time and the effort to get your entity set up, your business set up correctly. And that's what Monique is bringing to us. You can do a lot of this stuff, but there's so many steps, so many tiny little things. You don't want to miss one thing because it could derail the whole thing. And that's why we need Monique, because she makes sure that we cover every single detail that we need so that by the time we're done, we're ready.
Now you said that I cover all the details and want to give Ms. Rose Fauntleroy, the other boss queen on the platform with us this morning, a chance to introduce herself. Ms. Rose was actually in my government contracting boot camp. So Ms. Rose, go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the people how you enjoyed that government contracting boot camp.
Good morning, everybody. As Monique said, I am Rose Fauntleroy. You all see me here from time to time. And yes, I am the CEO of the Virtual Sales Genie and all that good stuff. Because I'm saying, who's she talking about? What that lady talking about? But anyway, yes, I did enjoy immensely Monique's boot camp, her government contracting boot camp. Because as Don was saying, there are a lot of steps and there are things that you could do yourself, but there are a lot of nuances in between those steps that you need someone to guide you through. And that's what Monique does. That's what she did in the boot camp. Now, I enjoyed the boot camp immensely. I learned a lot. I am a forever student and a forever teacher. But if you really want the meat and potatoes, you come to the boot camp and then you join her course. And then you will be set to bid and to look at and see what's out there in the government contracting space. Because trust me, when I say it, there's a lot out there that you never even thought about. Monique, I'm going to pass it right on back to you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning. I've shared the comments, but just want to give a shout out to D. Jefferson. Good morning, D. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And of course, Rose is on the platform here. She's double tasking herself and sharing on the broadcast. Good morning, Miss Verlin. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. The Queen of Real Estate is watching on Facebook Live. Good morning, Coach Shakita. We just ended the real estate investing week last week, so you want to follow Coach Shakita because she has a real estate investing boot camp that's taking place this week as well. So there is a lot going on the platform, but I tell you, getting back to government contracting week, let me just say this. First and foremost, we have a packed itinerary. And you don't want to miss out on anything. Government Contracting University has a club on Clubhouse. I will be in that club at 10 a.m. Central and 10 p.m. Central. In addition to that, the Reverend Dr. Danielle Winningham has her Pink and Pay Club on Clubhouse. I'll be in that club talking about Government Contracting Week at 2 p.m. Central. And then not only that, I'll be doing pop-up lives on my own page. So you want to follow me on social media. But it is all systems go. It is Government Contracting Week. I am super, uber excited. If you haven't, figured out that I'm excited, then I don't know what's wrong with you. Turn your volume up, go get some coffee, but it's Government Contracting Week. Now, there's a lot going on, and so we need you to register. So I'm going to pull the banner back up so that you can register. And let me find it. There we go. There goes the banner. So go ahead and get registered so that you will be in the know of where to go and how to follow me this week on Government Contracting Week. We're going to be here every morning at 7:30 a.m. Central. You'll get an invite for that in your email inbox. You'll get an invite in your inbox for the Zoom room webinars that'll be taking place every evening at 7 p.m. Central. I am hitting it hard. We're going after this money. And if you know anything about the Reverend Dr. Danielle Winningham, just want to give a shout out to you, Coach. Thank you so much for allowing me to launch on your platform again. This is my second go around of launching on the Reverend Dr. Danielle Winningham's platform. And I'm so honored, super excited, and just really ready to hit it hard. Government Contracting University, go to our business page, is on Facebook, like the page, and you'll get updates and invites there. We also have launched our YouTube channel, so you need to follow me on social media, but most importantly, you need to get registered at www.blackandpinkmoney.com. Now, I just have a question for Miss Dawn McCarthy, because as she made a comment, she said that I went at them, in the details of the Fed Talk course. It's a 10-week course, and we're not going to go into the details right now. You'll get information about that. Just make sure that you register, and you'll be in the know and informed of everything that's taking place concerning Government Contracting Week and the Government Contracting course called Fed Talk. But now, Dawn, did you work? Did you have to do some work when you went into the course?
Oh my gosh, yes. It is not just a click and a copy paste anything at all. These systems are very detailed and tricky. It can get pretty confusing. So having someone that knows that system and can help us navigate, and she walked us through every bit of those pages that we needed to enter our own information. So there's parts of it that only you can do, but then there's parts of it that you may not know how to do, and that's the tricky part. If you make one mistake, it can mean the difference between winning a contract and losing them. So it's really important that we get these things in there entered correctly. And I know, Monique, that I would not have been able to finish this on my own, by myself. I know that for a fact.
Well, I'm super excited about you. We have a comment from Miss D. Jefferson. Want to put that up on the screen? D says, I attended the government contracting boot camp and you do not want to miss it. Coach Monique gives you the ins and outs on how you can apply for those grants and your business and get that money. Thank you so much, D. Thank you.
That's absolutely true.
That boot camp was lit. And let me tell you, the boot camp, the government contracting boot camp, we had the giveaway, we had prizes. The giveaway each night, it was a 5-day boot camp. And the giveaway was a voucher for a 3-night stay in Vegas, hotel accommodations. Didn't include airfare or anything like that, but it paid for your hotel accommodation. So if you were in the boot camp and you were in class, then I spun the wheel every night to see who was going to win a voucher. So we gave away, we had a sponsor. And so I gave away 5 vouchers because it was a 5-day boot camp. Listen, the same thing is taking place when you register for the government contracting course that's coming up. You will get one of those vouchers as well. So Miss Rose Fauntleroy, I know you have some experience in government contracts. You and I have had that conversation on this platform in the past. And so if you don't mind, when we talk about money in government contracts, and I'll get into the statistics because people that know me know that I run those numbers off about the $500 billion annually that's available, the 23%, which is 115 billion set aside for small business owners, and then the 5% for, which is about 5.7 billion for women-owned small businesses. That's just a little summation of the numbers. But when we talk about money in government contracts, talk about your inspiration and getting some of that money and why you put your hat in the arena to get you set up in your business. And why, and then of course your whole purpose for attending the government contracting boot camp.
My whole purpose for attending the government contracting boot camp was to learn more and to be able to glean more information about those nuances. Because as Dawn said earlier, yeah, a lot of it you do have to do, but you could click one thing wrong or you could type in a phrase wrong. You may think it means one thing to you, but it may mean something totally different to the government and in that space. So that's why you need that guide. The reason I was interested in government contracts is, to me, it is, I don't want to necessarily say the fastest path to cash, but it is an arena where they are never going to stop purchasing. A lot of things happen and can happen with the economical system. Things happen with the environment, excuse me, all of that. But irregardless of all of that, the government is the biggest consumer, biggest seller, biggest arena to purchase the goods and services that you offer that will keep the government running. The government doesn't just run on its own like everybody thinks. It's not a lone ranger. It takes other outside companies, businesses to make the government run. And there's no better arena to put your hat in the ring to glean some of this money. Because trust me, the government has the money. And if you are awarded a contract, they are going to pay you your money. It's a no-brainer.
Most definitely, most definitely. And Dawn, go ahead. I don't think you told the people what you do. You're the queen of cybersecurity. Go ahead and talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I've been in information and cybersecurity for over 20 years, and never once has the word government contract crossed my mind. But the government is definitely involved in cybersecurity, and in many cases, they set the standards. And there's a lot of businesses out there that do not know much about cybersecurity, and if they did, are they prepared to accept government contracts? And that's where something like my company can come in and help. Eventually, I can help these entities become prepared for being able to accept some of these contracts. So they may be registered, they may have their capability statements, they may already have a lot of the information that they need, but they're not up to the standards that the DoD provides with the CMMC that is required now. So there's a lot of changes that have come into place. So I'm looking at this as a way that I can go step in and help businesses become qualified to accept specific types of government contracts. So that's only one element that I do. I work with all kinds of training and stuff like that, helping businesses become more secure just in their own business, protecting their own data, protecting their clients' data, preventing anything that could cause a breach and identity theft and all kinds of things that we're facing these days. I mean, we hear it on the news daily now. There's breaches that are occurring every so many seconds. I think it's 18 seconds was the last number I heard that there's some kind of breach occurring. And now that we have a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of small businesses that do not have the access to cybersecurity elements. I'll just say elements. It's not necessarily the best choice of word, but big business and corporate America and government, they have the bells and whistles when it comes to cybersecurity. But you do not need to have all of that if you have the basic fundamental things put into place. And so that's the other side of what I offer for entrepreneurs and small businesses. And then you might be able to also receive government contracts. So it's kind of like a win-win.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. And Miss Rose, go ahead and let the American people, as Coach Jennifer King would say, let the American people know what the virtual sales genie is all about and what you do as the subject matter expert in your area.
Well, the virtual sales genie team, what we do is we are that silent partner that's behind the scene that makes your automation run, that generates you leads so that you can generate revenue, so that your company stays in business. Because if your company doesn't have leads, your company can't convert those leads into paying clients, not volunteer clients, or not you volunteering for your clients, then your business won't grow, it won't scale, it won't even stay in operation. So behind the scenes, you need that, and you need that automation. Leads, automation, all of that leads to sales. Like for instance, this morning, you see us here this morning. This is automation at its best. Well, someone had to go behind the scenes and set up all of this and make sure that everything is working correctly and that you all can see us this morning. So that's part of what the virtual sales genie does. And also in the government space, they need automation badly because even though the government is this big entity, a lot of their systems are old and antiquated, unfortunately. So that's what we do.
All right, all right. The comments are coming in. People are popping in on Facebook. We're going to keep the conversation going. Coach Shakita says, got government money to build your business. That's right. That's right. Hey, Miss Julie, welcome, 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 Queen. Welcome to the broadcast. It's Government Contracting Week. Julie was with me this morning in Clubhouse, the Government Contracting University Club on Clubhouse, and we were jamming to some music as well as Rose and Dawn were with me this morning. I tell you, we got our mojo on. We got our groove on this morning. Hey, Sonia, welcome. Good morning. Thank you for tuning into the broadcast. Listen, if you're just chiming in, I want to show this on the screen. You need to go register. It's totally free. Okay, go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com to get registered. It is government contracting week. When you register, you will receive a free list of 20 grants that you can apply for your business. Okay, that startup capital, people. You can get some money, apply for some money. The possibility to win some grants to get your business up and running or take it to the next level, scaling it up to the next level. But there's a free list of 20 grants that you will receive when you register, and you'll receive that in an email. Now, once you do that, you will also then be reminded via email every day of the events concerning government contracting week and how to follow us. The Clubhouse links will be in the email. The Zoom room links will be in the email. You'll be in the know. So the first and foremost, I'm talking about a lot of stuff, but your primary thing is just like, so much is going on. What do I do? All you have to do is go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com to get registered. Make sure you follow us. Oh, go ahead, Dawn.
And show up.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
If you go to blackandpinkmoney.com, you can sign up, but you need to show up because you do not want to miss this information.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Monique, but that's important.
That is the next big step, Don. You do have to show up.
You've got to show up.
But you know what? For any of what we are talking about, government contracts, all of that, classes, the boot camp, the course, you have to show up. And you have to implement what you showed up for. You really do.
Every day is more information. So it builds upon what you started with, so that by the time you're done, you're ready. So you really need to be there every single day. And can I talk about the capability statement briefly?
Oh yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So the capability statement to me was an amazing part of the entire course. Because,
and let me just ask you, and where did you learn about the capability statement?
I learned it on the 10-week course, Fed Talk course. So the boot camp is a good place to start, but you really need to continue on. And that capability statement is like a resume without being a resume, because it's not about what I would put on there thinking I need to tell them all this information. It's about what the government needs to know about me so that they can make a decision. And that's an important differentiator between a resume and a capability statement.
Ooh, Monique, there's that word that Don used, differentiator.
Yeah, differentiator. You learned that? Where did you learn that?
Where did I learn that?
Where did you learn that? Hey.
I learned that in the boot camp.
All right now.
I learned it in the boot camp. You have to be able to differentiate your business.
That's right.
That's
a government contracting phraseology. That's differentiator. What is that?
There's something else that you learn in the boot camp, that the government has its own language.
Yep, and you'll learn it when you show up.
Yep. Exactly, and actually, I'll be talking about that, the government's language, in tonight's webinar. I'll be talking about learning that language and teaching you that language. But just one thing I wanted to say about, to piggyback on what Don said about the capability statement. If you don't know what a capability statement is, get registered. If you don't know what differentiators is, get registered. If you don't know what core competencies are concerning your business, get registered. If you don't know anything about government contracting, and I just tell you, I had a client that graduated the course. When she started, when I talked to her on just a little testimony, when I talked to her on a discovery call, she just had an idea of what she wanted to do. She didn't have an EIN number. She didn't have an LLC established. She didn't even know the name. Get this, guys. Everybody listen in. She didn't even know the name of her company that she wanted to start. Nonetheless, she was on board and adamant and just really committed to going after this money and government contracting. I'm telling you, we took her from zero, that level, to now she's up and running in the system with the government and can bid on government contracts. She didn't even have a name for her company, nothing, and so, regardless of what level you are in, go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com to get registered. I will definitely work with you. My team will work with you. We have our Fed Talk graduates, woo, 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 to Fed Talk graduates. We also have our boot camp participants, that are also, excited and engage with me on my social media channels, in my clubs on Clubhouse, and they just have so many things to say. One client actually has been talking to a government agency, one of my Fed Talk clients, and she's going to be on the platform this week, and I'll be interviewing her. She's actually on the verge. I don't want to speak too soon, but she's like in the mix of getting her first government contract. So I'm just like, yeah, go. So, it's time to get this money. If you know anything about the Reverend Dr. Danielle Winningham, Coach is about getting this money, making this money, having an MBA, a massive bank account. And so let's see. Dee has another comment. Dee, yes, thank you for sharing, Dee. Get registered. You will be in the money for your business. That website is www.blackandpinkmoney.com. And so we are just super excited all this week. Going to be hitting it hard over on Clubhouse. Those chat rooms over on Clubhouse are lit. And we are just super excited. Yes, thank you, Dee. Woo! Yes. I am super excited. And so those Clubhouse rooms are lit. People are asking information. I will, in my webinar, give you an opportunity. I will have a live Q&A. And so I invite you to stay to the end, because there is a free gift for you when you attend the webinars. But most importantly, there's so much going on. I don't want you to get confused. I don't want you to be lost in the sauce. I want to direct you to the right place where to go so that you can be in the know-how and what to do all this week. Today is Monday, August 9th. We'll be hitting it hard every day, all day long, between now and Sunday night. We don't shut down government contracting week until Sunday night. And I tell you, on Clubhouse, we can play music, and I was jamming. I had some JB going on.
I got out your bed dancing.
Can you tell them, Rose, about Clubhouse, how I was jamming this morning?
Look, we went through the genres. We started out with praising God early this morning, and then we went to a little jazz. Then she mixed in a little R&B, and then she rounded it out with a little James Brown. Now, that gets you up and moving.
Yep. It's a great way to start a Monday. As I haven't started a Monday with that kind of groove going on that early to begin with. So it was a good start to the week.
Most definitely. And so, guys, we want to thank you. If you're just now tuning in, if you're watching the replay, type #replay. Feel free to share out the broadcast. We just welcome you. This is the platform of the Reverend Dr. Danielle Winningham. Such an honor and a privilege to be on her platform, launching Government Contracting Week. It is super exciting. Go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com to get registered. Registration is totally free. Okay, and when you register, you will receive a free list of 20 grants that you can apply for your business, for startup capital to get your business going, and so if you get a grant, that can, help you out with, some of the things that, you have need of in your business as you aspire. I say aspire, and it's all good, to get a government contract. Anything that's worth winning is going to take some work. The government, the money's there. Let's talk about that, because I will be discussing that on one of my topics as well, that the money is on the table. The money is definitely on the table, but nobody's going to come call your cell phone, knock on your door and say, boom, 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 boom. Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me, sir. We have a $1.4 million contract that your company qualifies for, could you submit a proposal? Nobody's going to do that. You're going to have to do some work. And that's what we do in Government Contracting University. Now that Dawn is a graduate of the course and her company is in the system, and Rose's company is in the system too. She had just entered the government contracting space prior to me launching my brand. And so she's been in the arena of government contracting for quite some time, several years now. So she's already in the space. But nonetheless, like she said, she attended the boot camps because she wanted to gain some more knowledge. And so now that Dawn has graduated the course, her next level is the mentorship, and we'll be talking about that, where she now gets to come into the Government Contracting University mentorship and actually learn how to search for the opportunities. So, it's, all bells and whistles. There's levels
to this thing.
And we're really excited, but, it's going to take commitment. It's going to take you taking some time, setting some time aside. Just like it's Government Contracting Week, take some time aside. I invite you to go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com to get registered. Take some time this week to come learn some information. Be in the rooms. Be in the chat rooms on Clubhouse. Be here on social media, and asking questions, and things of that nature. I'll be doing a little pop-up. My schedule is so packed, I don't even have a schedule lined out for when I'm going live on my own platform, but I'll do little pop-ups on my own Facebook page, to kick off the week. So for those of you who are following me on social media, I thank you for following me there. You'll get some more information there, but bottom line is to get the information, go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com. So, Dawn and Rose, when we talk about the money in government contracts, Dawn, you were a contractor for the Department of Energy. Can you just, now you were not, your company didn't receive that contract, but you were an employee on a government contract. Can you just speak a little bit about the lucrative opportunities that government contracts, have available for people?
Yeah, and I think that involves one of the biggest government contracts for supplemental labor was SAIC. And they won that contract, and they're one of the only ones that, well, they can use other contractors as well, but they're subcontracted. So there's different levels in what kind of contract you can receive. And I was on that contract for almost on and off for like 4 or 5 years. It was ongoing. I would just automatically be renewed. And it was a great experience. I had so much exposure to a lot of different systems, understanding that how the government actually works with the Department of Energy. A little bit different than the Department of Defense, but it's all relatively the same. It's all involving the federal government, and that they need supplemental labor. They need outside support because they can only have so many federal employees. They can't just hire more. So the only way they can get more people to do more is to outsource that type of thing. Same with some of these other programs that they need. The only way they can make it work is to outsource it. So they need the private sector to be able to come in and, fulfill some of these obligations or programs that they want to implement. And they really do. And Monique loves to talk about it. I'm surprised she hasn't said it yet. So I'm going to say
that's going to be my next. That's going to be my next thing, and I'm going to talk about it in the webinar on tonight, because just want to give a shout out to my 7-figure sister, my other 7-figure sister, Coach Vicki Kirk May. Hello, good morning, sis. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for watching the broadcast. Make sure you get registered to stay in the know concerning government contracts. Listen, Dawn has opened up the. I'm going to have a conversation this morning, so just get, just settle in, because everybody needs to know this. Dawn mentioned a company called SAIC that won the subcontract concerning the Department of Energy. Well, my story, this is my story. I'm a retired captain of the United States Army. I'm in Afghanistan in combat. I was a transportation logistics officer. And so there was a logistical contract that was awarded to a contractor, a company for logistical support to take the combat vehicles and make sure that they get into the soldiers, the warfighter hands, and it's just logistics. The trucks, the vehicles arrive in Afghanistan. We need the vehicles to go from point A to point B, and then to get into the warfighters' hands, so we can get out there and go after the Taliban. And do what we need to do for the United States government, for the Department of Defense. So I was a transportation and logistics officer. I didn't know anything about government contracts, didn't know anything about contracting, prime contracting, or anything. But getting back to this company called SAIC, okay, and it has one of this like scientific something name, but they go by SAIC. So when the contract was awarded, I'm in combat. Contract was awarded. Government, me being representing the government, we were informed that SAIC won the contract for the logistical support. And I had never heard of that company. I was like, and my battalion commander, now I'm in charge. I'm transportation and logistics. This is my wheelhouse. This is my baby. I need to run and make sure that this goes off without a hitch. It's my responsibility. And so I had never heard of this company. I was like, SAIC? I've heard of KBR, Mantech, and some of the other ones, BAE Systems, and there's just so many different companies that do government contracting. I mean, it's just overwhelming. But nonetheless, I had never heard of this SAIC. So I did a little research, went to the internet. Anytime the government awards a contract, there is a press release. And I knew that much. And so I went to the internet and I typed in press release, SAIC fielding contract. And boom, it came up on the internet, the press release. And I read the press release and my mind was blown. This is how I got into, I'm just telling you guys my story, if you don't mind. Go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com to get registered while I tell my story. But it blew my mind. SAIC on this contract was a subcontractor, okay? They were not the prime. If you don't know what prime contractor is or subcontractor is, then you need to go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com so you can be in the boot camp, so you can be in the course, so that you can know these things. So, and learn these things. And I'm more than happy to teach you, because I want you to go after this money. But they were a subcontractor. And so with that being said, the contract they won was for over, not under, for over $700 million. It blew my mind. I mean, I had no idea that such amount of money could be made. I had no idea that, this was even possible. And I was like, oh my God. And Coach is a reverend doctor. And so we're going to give a little shout out to the good Lord this morning, because he just put a little bug in my ear and said, you too can do that. I was like, okay, God, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do government contracting, And so that's where the vision was birthed in me, to get into this arena, to get into this industry of government contracting. Just super excited. There we go. Thank you. Thank you so much, Rose. It is Science Appliques International Corp. Our acronym is SAIC. And so they won this $700 million contract for this particular aspect to assist us on the combat field in Afghanistan. Just literally blew my mind. And so just real quick, as a subcontractor, what that meant was that was just a little piece. The prime, and I don't know who the prime contractor was. Prime contractor basically means the company that won it from the government. What a company won a contract from the government, and then what they did is they hired SAIC, Science Application International Corp, to actually do the work on the ground for them. So if the subcontractor was making over $700 million, you can only imagine what the contract value was for. So this money is real, guys. This money is on the table. This money is, legit, but again, you have to know what you are doing. And so at Government Contracting University, we will literally take you through step by step to get you set up so that you can appropriately have your entity set up so that you can bid on government contracts. And so I am really very excited. Go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com to get registered. You don't want to miss anything that's happening this week. I'm going to allow Dawn and Miss Rose to give some closing remarks, and then we're going to get out of here for this morning because there's an itinerary that's going on, and I have to be in Clubhouse at 10 a.m. Central. So I have other things on my agenda today. But go ahead, ladies. I'll let you have some final remarks.
One of the things I wanted to add to what you were just saying was the SAIC is a huge company, but it doesn't take a huge company to win a huge contract because there's people out there that make wigs, and the government needs companies that will help them produce or provide wigs. And that was one of the companies I think you used to talk about how the Veterans Hospital provides wigs to veterans. So it's you can go from something like that to being a big organization and anything in between. So if you have anything that the government might need, you'll have to find out by joining the boot camp and then signing up for Fed Talk, because she will go through and show you how your business will be able to bid on these contracts, even when you think there's no way. There is. There's absolutely way. So that's what I wanted to add to that.
What I'm going to add is going to www.blackandpinkmoney.com to get your 20 free grant download. When you are preparing to apply for these grants and then apply for these grants, this is a good first step to bidding on a government contract, because you're not just going to send in a note saying, I want to bid such and such on this contract. It doesn't work like that. It's a process, and there are different things that you have to do. So starting with the grant applications, not just to get you money, to be able to sustain you through the process, it is a good first step into all of the documentation you need to provide, and what you need to say, what you need to fill out, what deadlines you need to meet, and things like that. So that's what I wanted to add. And like Dawn said, Monique, you were talking about SAIC. Don, you were talking about something as simple as producing wigs. Who would ever thought that the government would need a contractor to provide wigs? But that's just the different arenas and areas that the government operates in. When I worked with a subcontractor who was bidding on security contracts. Now, there are all kinds of security contracts. I'm not even going to go into it because you'll have to join the boot camp. You'll have to join the course. But there are so many different entities that provide services to the government. It, like Monique said, it will blow your mind. And I'm Rose Fauntleroy, and I'm done talking.
All right. Well, guys, we want to thank you for tuning in and watching. Just again, super excited to be bringing you this information. And as Dawn and Miss Rose stated, you just don't know. And that's, when you look at the banner, the marketing material for government contracting, there's a question on there. Is it right for you? Is government contracting, for me? Are government contracts for me? So, there are industries out there that you just have no idea. The wigs, for one. Okay, we discussed on the platform before, the VA, Veterans Administration, has a government contract. If you are a wig boss and you design wigs, listen, girl, you need to get your crown on, get that wig boss going, and you need to get with me and the government contracting university so we can get you set up so that you can bid on a contract. Because let me tell you, when I did some, I couldn't believe it. When I found out, I was like, is this for real? I didn't even know. I was just like, I didn't even know. It's just like, oh my God, the government is buying wigs for real. The government is the world's largest consumer of goods and services. They buy everything.
They buy toilet paper. They buy soap. Think about that.
All right now. Yeah, they are the world's largest consumer of goods and services. So they buy literally everything. And so when I looked into this wig contract, okay, this is what I learned. And see, this is what you learn when you actually sign up. Everything cannot be for free, and I'm not sorry to tell you that.
Come on, Monique.
I'm just going to be honest. Everything is not free. Everything is not low hanging fruit, $20.21 for you to get in and get some knowledge and get some wisdom. It's going to take an investment. Okay. And now it's going to be reasonable, but at the same time, it's not free. It's not free. But when I learned this information about the wigs, what I learned is the phraseology. And I say that to say that when you come to these forums that I hold, the boot camp and the Fed Talk course, you will learn phraseology. For instance, they don't call it wigs. They call it prosthetics. Okay? So you'll learn that phraseology, that you need to call your product, your wig, a prosthetic, and that you need to apply for that contract to bid, getting information on setting your business up appropriately so that you can bid on those that's if you are a wig boss, to bid on those contracts. Listen, the government in that wig contract, I found out that they were paying, get this. Now I know some of you out there just stay with me because I'm going somewhere. I know some of you out there have purchased a wig. I've purchased wigs in the past too. Have purchased a wig or have seen wigs and maybe looked at the price. So even if you haven't worn them yourself, just know about wigs. Do you want to know how much the government, the VA, is paying on this contract for each wig? Somebody just asked me how much.
How much?
They are paying over $600 per wig. Okay.
And they need 100 wigs. Think about that. And say they need 100 wigs in that contract.
Right. You got to be set up to be able to perform now. It's not just, it's a lot more, it's a lot to setting yourself up. But when you win, they expecting you to show up
and deliver.
You need to show up, and when they place that order that they looking for 100 wigs, you need to have 100 wigs ready, and be able to deliver on time. And not only that, but then I did some more research and a little bit more investigating, and I found out the name of the company that won the contract, and lo and behold, they have a Facebook page. And I went to that Facebook page, and sure enough, they was on that business Facebook page with all the pictures of the wigs, the before and after photos, and everything. And I'm just like, this is totally amazing. And so that's just one. We could get into many industries. For those of you who are watching the broadcast, go ahead and type in your industry. Because you may want to know, well, can I get a contract for what I do? And I'll be monitoring the chat. I've shared the broadcast on my Facebook page. So as those comments come in, I'll see a notification. But you want to get registered and go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com, because then you'll be in the know. Not only will you get the list of 20 grants that you can apply for, you'll be with me in the Zoom room where you can talk to me about your industry. You can tell me what you do, and I can let you know, yay, nay, or I'll get back to you with some research. There you go, Julie. Nanny care. All right, Miss Queen, nanny care. I will definitely look into that for you, Miss Julie. Make sure you are registered. at www.blackandpinkmoney.com. Now that Julie, that reminds me, and I know we've been on the broadcast for almost an hour, but while we're live, Miss Julie did talk about nanny care. For those of you who were on the Pink and Pay Club at Clubhouse, I did a presentation about caregivers. There are grants, I'm sorry, I misspoke, not grants, but there are government contracts for caregivers. You just have to be set up appropriately. And I have that terminology of what they call themselves in the government contracting space. You know, they don't call it nanny care. They have a special name for caregivers. And that's what they call it, caregivers. And so there's a special code you can get set up and things of that nature and go after some of those contracts. So, let's see. Dee has another contract. Deja, hey, Queen. Deja says, I am a speaker, mentor, and coach who's trying to build a profitable business in self-care, personal development, community leadership, and empowerment. Miss Deja, okay, first of all, I'm going to come back to your comment, but I want you to do this. Go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com and get registered. Do that right now on this live and then come back in the comments and say registered or done or let me know. And I'm going to answer your question. Okay, Miss Deja, there are government contracts out for speakers, or not speakers, but mentors or coaches. The government does not use the terminology coach. What they do is they use the phraseology of training. Okay. All right. So for all you coaches, thank you, Miss Deja, for being the coach and putting a comment. For all you coaches that are out there, you can get government contracts. You just have to set your entity up for training. You have to tell them that you do training in the industry that you do. Now, Miss Deja, you said you do personal development. There is definitely contracts out there for personal development. There's contracts out there for personal leadership and development and things of that nature. We talked about self-care. I would have to do a little bit more research on self-care, but I know for caregivers, if you are caring for someone else, there are contracts out there. So thank you for putting your comment there. And let's see, Miss Deja also says an author, substitute teacher, and yes, hold on. All right. We holding. We want you to get registered, So go ahead, Rose, add something to the conversation as Miss Deja gets registered. And the comments are coming in.
Well, it's like you said, there are so many different entities and categories that the government uses to outsource for to purchase goods and services. And they need everything from A to Z. Like I was saying earlier, the government has vendors that they purchase toilet paper from. There's a contract where you can bid on toiletry items. There are contracts where you can provide PR services. You can provide marketing services. You can provide legal services. There is an array of categories that the government buys your products and services. Because, like you said earlier, they cannot hire all of these people to fulfill these roles. It would be impossible. Then the government really would go broke, okay? Because they'd have all these people on the payroll providing benefits, this, that, and the other. So what they do is they outsource. They're also the biggest outsourcer. They outsource to get those vendors to fulfill those contracts. And there are several different ways to do it. But you have to know the steps. You have to know the process. You have to know the language. That's the purpose of the boot camp. That's the purpose of the Fed Talk course. That's the purpose if you want to go further into the mentorship.
Yep.
because it takes time. It's not a fly by night thing that you're going to spend a couple hours and you're going to get a contract. It's just not going to work the way it can, but most likely it's not. It takes time. It was an investment of time, an investment of money, and an investment of your resources, and an investment of being educated. So
Yes,
that's
yes,
what you have to offer. To,
most definitely. And I'm sorry, but I just also wanted to put it out there that Dawn did also attend the boot camp as well. You know, I know she attended the 10-week course, but she attended the boot camp as well. Dawn, as we talk about these industries, and we're going to get out of here real quick, Miss Deja, let me know if you're registered. For those of you who are just tuning in, we are on the end of our live broadcast today of Government Contracting Week. We're talking about money, 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 and government contracts. Go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com to get registered. I just like to ask you, Dawn, could you just speak on the diversity of industries that was in the course? I know you might not remember everyone's name or everyone's, but just speak in general terms the diversity of industries that were covered in the 10-week course.
Yeah, there was a quite a bit of diversity in industry, and I have one example that wasn't part of the boot camp, but just a personal experience from someone I knew way before I even considered government contracts, and it was a plumbing company, and a plumbing company actually won a contract. And let me tell you, the part that stood out to me the most was that the hammers, they were $200 a hammer.
Excuse me, Don. Hey, Deja, excellent, excellent. Make sure on that website, welcome to the Startup Capital Bootcamp. That's wonderful. Make sure you click on the button underneath the Government Contracting Week banner that says, I want the grants. So go back to the website and just click on the I want grants button. So we want to make sure you get that list of the 20 grants so that you'll be in the information concerning Government Contracting Week. Let me know when you have that done. Go ahead, Don. But congratulations on that Startup Capital Bootcamp. That's off the chain too. First of all, can we just agree? Can we just boast about our coach for a second? Because coach is the GOAT. That Startup Capital Bootcamp is off the chain. You guys want to speak about coach for a second?
absolutely, because see, I went through the Startup Capital Bootcamp. So I know firsthand that talks about the grants. The 20 grant download is the first step. Then you get education on venture capital, how to work with venture capitalists, how to get startup money. There is so much money, as they say, in the land. I think CJ used to say that there's so much money in the land, but if you don't know how to go about getting it, and if you don't know how to have your documentation in order, the Startup Bootcamp will teach you that.
Yeah, and if you don't learn it, then you're leaving money on the table, I think is one of the other things that she tells us quite often.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, so I'm sorry for interrupting you, Don, but thank you, thank you, thank you. Go ahead and finish your story.
okay. So the hammers were $200, but there was something else on that list that was $400. And I was floored. I could not believe that anybody would pay $200 for a hammer, let alone $400 for a toilet. Literally. So this is a provider of plumbing equipment, and they were commercial plumbing, so they also had people that could go in and actually install what they needed. So there's all kinds of industries out there. It doesn't matter if you're a wig boss, a plumber, a contractor for security, the sales genie, the virtual automation of what you need to run your business in the background so that you can go be out there doing what you need to do. There's all kinds of reasons and all kinds of industries that the government is looking for. So be in the know so that you can see those contracts coming and you can be in that bid.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Miss Deja is making some comments. She is a lot of love. I was introduced to her on Clubhouse in December. Awesome. That is super. She is the GOAT when it comes to making this money, getting this massive bank account, this MBA. So make sure when you go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com, you actually click on the I want 20 grants button. And then that way you will receive the email invites to the government contracting week, and you'll be informed when we're going to be on Clubhouse and things of that nature. So guys, we have been here for 1 hour. I'm looking at the clock. It's 1 hour on the dot. We have been live. We don't want to go too long because we have other things to do in government contracting week. But listen, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Again, I am Monique Spalding, CEO of SPMC International LLC and the founder of Government Contracting University. And Government Contracting University is a registered trademark of the LLC. And so we're super excited about that, super excited about this launch this whole week. So I am just bubbling.
You're not excited, are you?
Yeah. Okay, someone, Stephanie is just trying to call me. So listen, I got a call coming in, but we're going to get out of here. And we're going to get out of here. And I'll talk to you guys in the morning. Tomorrow, I'll be interviewing one of my other Fed Talk course graduates, Miss Carla Ross, the owner of Carla's Sugar. So make sure you are staying in tune, and we'll see you next time. Get registered. Again, go to www.blackandpinkmoney.com, and we will see you in the morning and in the Zoom room on tonight. Get registered and be ready. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.